quick little video here. Bad lightning, I know. It's just that the timing is kind of good right now to make this video, so I'm gonna make it anyways. What I want to talk about is something that I think very few people would know anything about or would be interested in, but for those of you that actually happen to know about this and maybe looked into it yourselves, this will be an interesting watch considering the experiment that I'm about to share with you guys. So a little bit backstory. I have had gastrointestinal issues for a few years now, a good 4.5, 5 years almost. They started when I was back in Norway it was pretty sudden actually. It was a period, a lot of stress. It was COVID times, bad diet, and some anxiety, that all of a sudden my stomach just completely gave in and I started having diarrhea for weeks on end. I would have to go to the bathroom. Like right now, you see that I just burped, and this is a constant thing. I have a lot of bloating and gas that is always there in the background. It's become so normal for me to let air out orally that I don't even notice that I'm doing it. It's just so yeah, so this happened. I couldn't understand what it was, and it took me a long time for anything to start to click, but it was around maybe 8-9 months later that I actually discovered that this has something to do with gluten. And then I cut out gluten and I was feeling so much better, because up until that point for 9 months I had I had runny stool always, a lot of gas, a lot of cramping, a lot of pain in my stomach, especially when I was eating certain things. I had a lot of pain the day after, and I mean intense goosebump giving cramps. All in all, this was a mystery, and I know that when you go to a doctor's office, it is mostly a doctor that don't know anything more than you. These guys are literally, I don't want to talk down on janitors, there's nothing wrong with them, but they're janitors in doctors' offices. They have no clue what they are doing, what they're talking about. This goes for psychologists. A lot of them are just book nerds that learn something that's outdated by 30 years and they never invested into learning the new research and things that are connecting, and things are constantly changing. We're constantly learning new things about ourselves. We still know so little. When somebody tells you that you have IBS, what does that mean? You know what that means? It means that I don't know what kind of problem is at the root of your gut problems, your stomach problems. So I'm gonna call it IBS because it's medically accepted, and I can just give you some generic medication and tell you that I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to live with this. And this goes for a lot of things. So that's why I didn't even bother going to the doctor. And I started looking into treatments of my own, which was diet change. I did also I cut out gluten mostly, and I got so much better. So much better. I also had bad acne outbreaks, and also I got allergies, which I've never had before in my life. I got pollen allergy, dust allergy, cat hair allergy against anything and everything that existed, which was absolutely abnormal. And luckily, I had done a test previously in my life, and I came absolutely free of any allergies. So this was something new, happening around the same time, at the same time, accompanied by breakouts, which last for a long time, and they keep coming, and bad stomach, and so many things linking together slowly but surely, but I couldn't really see the big picture yet. And I cut out gluten, some time passes by, and I think about, wow, my allergies and my acne, which I had acne before. I had bad acne before. I had to go on Roaccutane for 6 months or so when I was a teenager. But this was after Roaccutane treatment, which was successful. So I knew that there's something happening inside me that is making all of these changes happen. And then it kind of came together that, wow, my gut issues started at the same time as these things. So maybe I need to take care of my gut. Maybe cutting out gluten didn't just do it. And what I did was I went on a approximately 4-month pretty intense fast. It was intermediate fasting initially, where I was doing intermediate. I woke up and I made like a 2-liter smoothie, the red beets, carrots, blah blah blah, mix of like a lot of basic orange and all these things, but a lot of fiber also I used to put in. And the plan was that I would only drink that around like 10 a.m. and then I wouldn't eat or drink anything until 4 or 5 p.m. And when I do end up having a meal for the day, it would be something simple like mashed potatoes, some broccoli, something very simple. And I stuck to this diet, and no sugars also, no gluten, no dairy. I stuck to this diet for 3 or 4 months, and then we had Ramadan, which is the holy fasting month of the Muslims, and we actually went through with this as well. We did like a 30-day, which is a much stricter fast because you don't drink water. As you can see, we don't drink water. And yeah, I did that, lost some weight, which I've been able to put back on right now. But I did, my skin, my acne absolutely cleared up. I had the clearest skin that I've had in ages, in years. And my gut was feeling good, but I was still having some bloating and gas. I didn't have the same intolerances that I had. My food intolerance levels was completely changed. So I could actually tolerate gluten way more. I could tolerate dairy way more. I can tolerate the things that made me feel bad way more. But still, the gas always stayed, which I just kind of chucked off and thought, you know, I don't even know what this is, and it's not so important because it doesn't bother me all that much. And then now I looked into, just by luck, because I'm also having, I can show you guys, I'm also having, if you look at my forehead, you'll see with the shininess, which is not what I'm pointing at, but you'll see that first and foremost, my skin is not looking great right now. I'm having like breakouts, a lot of them around, you know, that you cannot really see so well right now. But the main thing that I'm pointing your attention to is the dots that you see that are like spread around in the skin here. But if the light moves, you'll see that they're everywhere. It's like a colony of small dots. And those are not pimples, those are not acne. I've had a lot of acne, and I know how to differentiate between acne and what is not acne. This is not acne, you can't pop it. You can make it bleed, but even that won't take the inflammation or anything off. It's just like dots under the skin. And I knew that this was yeast, but I never paid attention to it. I thought this is just yeast. And what does that even mean? What do you even do with that information? So I kind of just chucked it off, and it wasn't bad. And when I did the diet, this cleared up as well, and I had none of them left. So now, as you can see, everything is coming back, and I just had a little look into it. You know, one video leads to another, and then another, and then an article, and then a research, and blah 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 blah. And I ended up discovering a few things that may be linked to this, and this is gonna bring me to the experiment that I'm currently conducting, which is self-diagnosis. Yes, I know some of you guys are against this, blah blah blah. I don't care. This is how I live my life, how I conduct myself. I believe that there's a lot of information out there available today, and I'm not a retard by any means. You know, I understand the risks and blah 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 with associated to taking medicines on your own. Currently, the positive thing is I am in Thailand, which means I can get prescription medication non-prescribed. And what I did was I bought some flu something Zold. What was the name? Fluconazole. Some fluconazole. Don't let the big flucozole name fool you. It's just the brand name. And some clove oil, just because why not? which has also been proven to actually help with what I'm gonna tell you now. So the experiment here is an experiment that will be focused on treating a yeast overgrowth, but not on my forehead. It's actually a yeast overgrowth that I am theorizing that it's a systematic or intestinal yeast overgrowth. And this is, again, something that I think may be the case because of all the factors combined. And there's actually, if you know about leaky gut, which is what I have known to self-diagnose myself to have a long time ago, because the symptoms fit so good. The allergies, the food intolerances, the intestinal issues, all the symptoms, the bloating, they all add up to leaky gut. And there is current new research coming out that is, what is the word for it, when somebody kind of points to something, that is saying that there may be, or there is actually a connection between people that have like Crohn's disease and this kind of celiac disease and a candidatus overgrowth. So they have something called candida overgrowth. And this is also something that new research shows is linked to a leaky gut syndrome, which means that is a lot of new discoveries being made. A lot could be a stretch, let me just say that. There is new discoveries and research indicating that there is a connection between the overgrowth of certain yeasts called candida in your gut directly with what we call leaky gut, which is also not an official medical condition. Is still a theoretical medical condition, but is getting more and more widely accepted as the time is passing. And it will for sure become something. We know so little about our guts. We know so little about anything that plagues the gut. So I am not going to sit here and listen to 30-year-old research because I'm scared that, like there is no conclusive research on the topic yet. This is how it goes. We advance as time passes. You have to sprinkle in a little bit of intuition and take in a little bit of the new experimental methods and research that is coming in. In my opinion, this is how I choose to do it. So what I'm doing right now is fluconazole for 200 mgs per day, which I will be doing for 3 weeks. And I also do clove oil just now for 10 days. And this will be a video where I'll show you, it's the 4th time, which I would never normally notice, but I'm just noticing it because I'm doing this video right now. I will just show you my forehead, how it's looking, so that after, and I will take a picture as well, after these 20 days are over, I will also, you saw me the burping, and overall you can see that my gut is not happy. So I will come back to you guys in around 21 days to check up if this issue actually gets better and changes. So yeah, see you guys when 20 days have passed.